What's up, guys, and welcome back to Book Up Entertainment. So, in the past few days, MK Party filed some court papers, and in those court papers, they wanted Ramaphosa's decision to appoint that guy as the police minister to be reversed, but the Constitutional Court refused to listen to that matter, which is very unfortunate for MK Party. So, after that ruling, we somehow thought that the issue has been dealt with, and that guy was then sworn in as the new police minister. In fact, let me look for the name of this guy. So it's Professor Frizo Kachalia, a respected law scholar and former anti-apartheid activist. He was then sworn in as the new acting minister, officially replacing Senzo Mchunu. So the MK party were not happy, and we somehow thought that the matter has been dealt with. So now Jacob Zuma is finally decided, to take matters into his own hands, and because initially it was actually the MK party, having filed the court papers to the Constitutional Court. So right now, Jacob Zuma has demanded that Ramaphosa should resign as president for repeatedly violating his oath of office. And Zuma has given Ramaphosa until 10 a.m. on Friday to resign. So that's the ultimatum, that has been laid out there by Jacob Zuma to say Ramaphosa should resign. So today is a Tuesday. It's around past 4 thereabout. It's a Tuesday, and Ramaphosa is, according to the ultimatum, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday. So he has less than 3 days to do so. So obviously we all know that Ramaphosa is not going to resign due to this threat that is coming from Jacob Zuma. And what is interesting is that what is Jacob Zuma going to do? Because we all know that Ramaphosa is not going to resign. So what is he going to do? Does this mean that Jacob Zuma is going to unleash Talimpofu to deal with this matter again? Maybe they're going to be taking the matter to the Supreme Court of Appeal, but no, you don't go there. You go maybe to the High Court because the Constitutional Court refused to listen to the matter. So which card can Jacob Zuma really play at this moment? Let's try and find, some options or some cards that Jacob Zuma actually has. So the first card that Jacob Zuma can play, it's a legal one, and this is legal action, going to the High Court. So they'll be filing an urgent court papers, at the High Court, alleging that Ramaphosa's decisions were unconstitutional and irrational. So because the Constitutional Court refused to listen to their matter, Zuma and MK party, they would be forced now to start at a lower court, so even if he loses, you'll be piling the pressure on and keeping that pressure in the headlines even on. So that's the first card that Jacob Zuma can play. And the second card, it's actually like maybe parliamentary disruptions. This is exactly something that he himself, Zuma, faced from Julius Malema and the EFF. And he knows that that pressure, it's something else, because he faced it himself. So maybe there'll be like disruptions of the National Assembly sittings, the motions of no confidence. We've already seen that one. The MK party has already filed a motion of no confidence. And do they have the energy to do that? Do they have the willpower? That is the other MPs to be doing this. Because one of the reasons why the EFF was very effective in those parliamentary disruptions, it is because Julius Malema himself was there in parliament and leading from the front. So this time around, Zuma will be hoping that John Hlophe would be leading from the front, or maybe Colin Makubele would be trying to do those disruptions. But from what I can see, I don't think that those guys have the willpower and the energy to be able to pull off what the EFF did. So that's the second card. A third card that Jacob Zuma can pull is maybe public mobilization, to get maybe like media coverage, and magnify this issue to show that what Ramaphosa did was unconstitutional. But it's very tricky again to get that public support from the media, maybe even social media. You can even throw it in there. It's a tricky third card. It's a tricky one. Fourth card, political alliances. Quietly work with other opposition parties, maybe EFF, but obviously the EFF and the MK party, they don't see each other eye to eye. They just don't. So in terms of political alliances, the MK party is quite restricted in that matter. So those are the cards that Jacob Zuma can play, and each and every one, it is its own weaknesses and its effectiveness. And the biggest issue that is sort of like dragging Jacob Zuma back, that I can see, it is that most people, they can see that this fight by Jacob Zuma, it's something personal. It's something personal, between Zuma and Ramaphosa. It's like Zuma is trying to just remove Ramaphosa from there. It has nothing to do with the violation of the constitution, whatever it is. It's a personal battle that is there, and with most people seeing it through that eye, that's why they are refusing to support Zuma's move on this one. And I even heard Malema at one point saying that, okay, if we remove Ramaphosa, then what is next? That narrative to say let's remove Ramaphosa, it's old. It doesn't make sense, and it's true, because you remove him, then what's next? It seems like Zuma is not thought through most of these issues as to what's the next move if we remove Ramaphosa anyway. What are we trying to achieve in removing him? So it's clear that this battle by Ramaphosa is they've laid out this ultimatum to say resign by Friday 10 a.m. It's a personal battle that is there. It's this animosity that is there, and it's stemming from the fact that Zuma was removed himself, and he hasn't forgotten that, and he is never going to forgive or maybe heal, up until he gets his revenge. But at this point, I doubt, that he is going to get that revenge that he so much wishes to get. He is very, very limited in terms of the cards that he can play. The best thing that Jacob Zuma can do is to just let this one slide and just go away. So he can just focus on MK party only and leave this thing of saying let's try and remove Ramaphosa. Just focus on MK and building their momentum towards 2026 and grooming a successor to MK. Focusing on those two, it's much, much better. I'll catch you guys on the next one.